So it's like, if you want to truly have longevity in any career, you have to diversify.
Welcome back, guys, to the Don View Podcast. This is your host, your black host, Don Black. Well, what name am I gonna call myself? Don Black. This is the Don View Podcast. I'm here with my co-host,
DP Rick or Tariq Abraham.
Ooh,
I don't know why I said it like that. Was that? Should I do it again?
Abraham Lincoln.
I mean, I don't care. It's a podcast.
Okay, so today's topic, we are gonna dive into. First of all, we're going to dive into what's going on with TikTok. You know, have you heard what's going on with TikTok?
Yeah, so what I heard from it is that they banned the download of TikTok in the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So it's really weird, bro. When I first heard about the ban, I'm like, okay, they're going to ban. I'll just jump onto other platforms I have. But then they're saying that they're banning it, but you could still have the app, you just can't download it. And they're saying now, I heard now that, the rumor is they're not going to update it. So you won't get a new update. So apparently at the end of the day or at the end of the year, it's going to mess up. It's going to mess, the app's not going to really work anymore.
So my understanding with the TikTok situation is that it's like Flappy Bird. And Flappy Bird, you can still play the game if you already had it downloaded. So, for example, I've had it downloaded on one of my old phones. I can go back and download the schematics because it's already downloaded to the cloud, ultimately. So I don't know if TikTok is going to be that way, but Flappy Bird doesn't get updates because the app developer doesn't update it. So that's the part where it does become tricky, is if they do update it, how long does it take for our phones to not be able to keep up with? You know what I mean? How long is it going to take for us to not be able to keep up with TikTok? But at the same time, I think all of this is just a bunch of, like marketing ploys and money ploys, you know what I mean?
I agree. I really agree. I believe at the end of the day, if all said and done, the app does get banned, the point that I really want to make to a lot of creators who are watching this, because part of this is going to go on TikTok, is that you have to branch out. I've heard this on every other platform I've been on by every other high-ranking creator and small creators. You need to branch out.
Listen, this isn't even for creators though. This goes like across the entire world. So like one of the first things that I started learning whenever I started investing in the stock market, or started getting interested in investing in the stock market, is you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? So you don't want to buy like 100 shares of a stock that's supposed to go up, but if it goes down, you're out of luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want to truly have longevity in any career, you have to diversify. You have to diversify. So I'm a videographer, but I also make income from stocks and cryptocurrencies, you know what I mean? But then I also have interest in like car stuff. So I could start a car related business, or like, let's say I want to start a lifestyle brand that's like car shirts, you know what I mean? It's like shirts with like car logos and car designs and stuff like that. That would be a diverse form of income that's not necessarily social media or creative or filmmaking. But if I were to do that, that would be side income that would be diverse. It would be a different industry. So if the film industry collapses tomorrow, at least I have the car industry on my hands. If the film industry and the car industry collapse, I still got my stocks. If all of them collapse, I still got my, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take that. Food for thought.
Yep, so this is for, we're going to TikTok real quick. This is for all you girls and guys who are twerking your asses and you're twerking your faces, and y'all think, oh, I got 1 million followers, I'm the big shots, right? Yeah, man, what y'all going to do when all that shuts down? What y'all going to do shuts down? Because I remember I went to VidCon 2019, and I was invited to a few events with huge creators were. And I talked to them, and they were like, yeah, all I have is TikTok, you know, and if TikTok were to go down, I have really nothing. And I'm like, you guys have a platform, you guys have connections, you guys could easily monetize other platforms easily. I know huge creators are friends with the likes of David Dobrik, the likes of Logan Paul, and all of them. You can easily do something else. You can easily start a boxing career, or you can easily do a sports. Like there's everything you can do with a huge following. But the thing is, people get too comfortable. That's what I'm seeing.
I think that's one of the things. Obviously, there's definitely like a sense where it's like, I mean, let's take just like the average American household, you know what I mean? You go through high school, you go through college, you get a job, and as long as you have a house and food on the plate, you're good, you know what I mean? Most American families don't have the capabilities to travel once a year, or don't have the capabilities to go to basketball games every week, you know what I mean? But there is a good chunk of American households who are able to go on vacations once a year or whatever. So it's like, there's a certain point where, yes, you do get comfortable, but some people are okay, you know what I mean? It's like, if you get comfortable, you get comfortable. And if you're okay with that and you don't want more, it's cool, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not going to tell everyone to be the CEO of Apple, you know what I mean? Because not everyone can handle that much work, you know what I mean? Some people are meant to be, you know, the executives or the managerial branches or the sales reps. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, it's the comfort, but what I think that it really is that people just don't understand that, like, most people spend a lot of effort trying to go big on TikTok, and they spend all their energy going big on TikTok when, for example, for me with my brand, I don't even care what platform you know what I mean? I don't care if it's TikTok or Instagram. Like, I'm not looking for Instagram followers. I'm not looking for TikTok followers. I'm looking for people to like email me and say, "Hey, I like your brand." You know, someone to call me personally, reach out to me personally, or someone to see me on the street personally and say, "I like your brand." It doesn't matter if it's on TikTok. No one's going to come up to me and say, "I like your Instagram page." You know what I mean? They're going to say, "I like you, your brand." So I think people need to start thinking more like that instead of like, "Oh, I want to go TikTok famous. I want to go Instagram famous." It's like, I want to create a brand that lasts all of it.
Yeah, that's true. Cause I remember when I think I told you about, I tried to get Harry Jowsey, you know, that Netflix personality.
You did tell me briefly.
Yeah, so I tried to get Harry Jowsey, and I remember he was on a podcast with Logan Paul, and he was talking about when he tried to leave Netflix, when he left Netflix, he didn't want to be known as the Netflix personality all his life. So that's why he networked with the Hype House kids, and now people refer to him as the Hype House TikToker, and now he's trying to diversify and get into acting and stuff. So he's trying to branch out other platforms, and because his name is his brand, so his name.
Yeah, my thing is like, if you're starting out though, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking about people who already have the platform. So I was talking to one of my good friends. He's like trying to start a business, and he's just like, he was saying something along the lines of like, I don't have the things that I need to start the business the way that I want. And ultimately it's like, listen, you can spend all your life posting TikToks every single day, and if you don't have something that someone can say, "I like that," then they're not going to give you the follow. So if you can figure out what it is about you that people can say, "I can get behind that and I can subscribe to this ideology," then it doesn't matter where you post or what you post, really. It's like, this is the ideology that I believe in, and because this company, this brand, this whatever follows the same ideology, I can get behind that. So for example, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I'm going to tell you a really funny story, and you're going to think this is like really dramatic. You're going to think it's like dramatic, but Taco Bell. This is a serious thing. Taco Bell, if you're watching this, I'm very upset with you guys. No, seriously. Taco Bell, as long as I've been alive, they've been the fast food chain that knows their audience. They knew that their audience was
How so?
Because they don't make expensive food. They make cheap food, and most of their food are munchies. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like, in high school, I wasn't really like a bad kid, but after football games, I would see all the bad kids in Taco Bell, and I was like, that's weird. And then I got older, and I started to realize that this is munchies food. This is like food for people who like smoke all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like, they had a lot of great munchies foods, bro. They had a lot of great foods that like were cheap, you know, easily available, whatever.
What about now?
Recently, they changed their menu. Yeah. Okay.
I've heard. I remember I saw a TikTok about that. I think that's
before they changed their menu though. I saw a lot of outlash on Twitter, and they were like, oh, they're going to take away my favorite meals, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people's favorite meals were being taken away, bro. A lot of people's favorite meals were being taken off the menu. And I understand COVID, financial struggles. Bro, literally everything that I normally get from Taco Bell is off the menu now. The things that I would normally get from Taco Bell are off the menu. And I'm not the only person who said that.
Yeah, I know.
And
I saw TikTok about it.
That's going to get Taco Bell lost me as a consistent customer because they didn't listen to their audience. So, if you want to start a TikTok, if you want to start an Instagram, if you want to start a restaurant, if you want to start a floral business,
You have to listen to their audience.
you have to serve your clients first. It's not about the money, it's about the clients. Because the moment that you do something that makes them feel backstabbed, the moment that you do something that makes them feel disrespected, the moment they think something along the lines of, I could get better service somewhere else, your business is done.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, even with TikTok, I get a lot of people don't know this, I get a lot of DMs from a lot of my fans who will DM me videos and clips and stuff. Basically, they DM me clips from other creators of what they kind of want me to do in a sense. Like, hey, this is kind of like an idea or whatever. And I do my best to do those in the best way I can, you know, because they're my audience. At the end of the day, yeah, I get... So before, I'm gonna give you a little story real quick. About 2 months ago, I had a breakdown. I had I forget what the people call it on social media, but it
Burnout?
Yeah, burnout. Yeah, I had a burnout.
Creative burnout.
Meaning I would make my views range. Sometimes I'll get 100 views or whatever, but
The notes. Sorry.
oh yeah.
My bad.
So this is kind of like this is a side note from this.
You're good. I just want to see it.
Yeah, but my views would range from as high as 500K to 600K. That'd be the highest, and that would be a day and a half worth of views. But what happened with me is I was going through a lot mentally. I was going through COVID. I was going through, trying to move. I was going through a lot. And then starting this series, it's not easy. It's not easy. So doing all of it, I'm like, hey, one of them I have to sacrifice for a little bit. One of them I'm going to have to sit back and just evaluate it, because I don't want to run them both to the ground. So I risked TikTok, and then the program where they give creators a few dollars or a few cents, a video came out, and that really, I was like, oh man, I need to get back on the ball, because the views so now I'm getting back to my views. I make 10 or 15K. I'm going back to where I used to be. Because now there's creators who make the views I used to make, and they're making a day $5 to $10 a day per video. So TikTok pays you, if you guys are not aware, they pay you per video. So let's say you get, the highest I got recently was 20 to 25K views of video. They will pay you for that video a little under $1 for that amount of views. And then any other video you do that day, they add that as well. So that is an incentive, as well as, you need to get your mental state in order. Because there's a lot of creators that have talked about
There's
this.
a lot I want to say about that, yeah. So first of all, creative burnout, it's ridiculous. This is something that I struggle with, but I'm kind of lucky because, I grew up in Oklahoma, so if I ever, get quote-unquote creative burnout, I can just text my parents and say, hey, I kind of want to come home, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll, be like, okay, let's fly you out, But at the same time, it's a lot of people will say, in order to prevent creative burnout, you have to, plan for it, basically. And the idea that I basically, am realizing is, even if it's just make sure that your weekends are your weekends, you know what I mean? Even if that's enough for you, then that's enough for you. But for me, it would be I'm thinking about taking a month off of life, you know what I mean? And just traveling and just going somewhere. Because I am starting to creatively burn out, and I do understand that. But I think the goal, the best way to solve that is to just, know your tendencies. For me, it's 3 months, you know what I mean? I can go full force 3 months, and then I need, a week of an emotional mental break, you know what I mean? And then 3 months, full force. Sometimes, though, I'm forced to go 6 months. So whenever I go 6 months, I need a longer period to rejuvenate, you know what I mean? So I can't tell myself that it's like, all right, like 2020, all work, no play. You know what I mean? That doesn't work, bro. That does not work. That does not work.
Yeah.
It does not work.
If
you think that it works, like staying up 24/7 to like grind, like I love the hustle, man. Like I used to be on that when I was doing gaming YouTube. I would stay up I would go to school and then just stay up till 1 a.m. but I wouldn't get my homework done and my grades were suffering and this and that, you know what I mean? It's like, there were so many things that I could blame it on, but at the end of the day, it was just genuinely like, I could have spent all of Saturday doing my gaming videos and all of my weekdays doing my homework, but instead I did all of my gaming videos on the weekdays and nothing on the weekends, you know what I mean? So, creative burnout, in order to prevent it, take breaks, and take them even when you don't think you do. Another thing that I want to say to something that you were saying about the audience thing, I did say serve your audience first, but remember that your audience is only the people who talk to you. Notice that Don Miguel said that people that follow him DM him telling him what to do, and he listens to them. He doesn't listen to the bozos that are following Logan Paul or David Dobrik. Yeah. He's listening to his audience. So that's another important fact. Don't follow the audience, know your audience. And if you don't have an audience, make one.
Yeah, it's very true. Because, recently I've seen a lot of creators do well, on certain things. And they've started, doing that thing, focus on their audience. Because a lot of big creators, they lose the big picture. And they'll worry about everything and everyone, not knowing that, hey, you need to worry about your day ones, you need to worry about the ones who are actually engaging. And apparently that's the term for that is your super fans. That's the term for that. So you need to know what they want. It's all about the consumer. Consumer comes first.
I want to say something. It's very off topic, but can we talk about friends? Like having good friends for creatives? Because that's something that's becoming a really big deal for me right now in my life. That's one thing
I want to say something real quick, and I'll let you go. That's one thing I wanted to talk about, but I didn't really know how to put it in this podcast, but I'm going to talk about it too as well. Yeah. So it's like, I want to ask you, what do you think is more important or more valuable, having good friends or having a team? And the difference would be, for people watching this, the difference between a friend and then a team is friends are people who are there, who help you when you're down, help you when you're up, They're people that you grab coffee with or you play poker with, If you're a girl, do makeup. But a team is someone who will not just tell you when things are right or wrong. They're gonna put you in your place.
Well, that's exactly my issue. So growing up for me, I had friends who were basically team members. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Explain. So it's like, when I was having my good days, they were there. When I was having my bad days, they were there. And when I was acting out of line, they were there to tell me so. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, out here, I've realized that a lot of the friends that I have made in the first 2 years of me living in LA, the only thing they give a fuck about is how fun you are. You know what I mean? Mm. So it's like, we could be having a very deep, productive conversation about their emotional health and how they're going to plan to, what their plan is to, get their life better, Mm-hmm. But if it's not a fun time, they don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no matter how much support I can provide some people, they don't return the same amount of support. So my thing is, I think having good friends is more important, because when I hire people, whenever I'm working with people, I work with people who could be my friends. Because you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Even hiring an assistant to me, I want to hire basically the perfect friend for my assistant.
Yeah, but here's the thing with friends, and a lot of my friends watching this, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. I think on a business standpoint, it's better to have a team, because there is something both parties genuinely want.
I have a counter to that.
Because I've had friends backstab me. I've had friends use me. I have friends pretend to be friends. I have friends who are just friends to be nice. And when it comes to team members, that can happen, but it's a different leverage.
But your question was, is it more valuable to have good friends or a good team? And the implication here is that your friends are good. It sounds like those were just shitty friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I think having good friends is more important, because on the flip side of it, it's like this. Let's say you have a shitty team, okay? But you're able to manage them, and they're still getting your tasks done, you know what I mean? So it's like you assign tasks, and at the end of the week, you get all the tasks, and they're good. But they're all, like, not very nice to you, that, you know, they're really unsupportive, they're not there for you, they don't put you in line. You can work with that, you know what I mean? It's like if you're spending a 9 to 5 office, you know, in an office with your team, and then you go home and you want to like drink a beer with your friends, and they're also being unsupportive, and they're also being bitchy, and they're also not helping you, you know what I mean? Then that's a serious issue, you know, because then, especially for me, it's like we were just talking about creative burnout. That's what made me think about this. It's like in those times where you need that rejuvenation, if you don't have good friends, then it's hell still, you know? It's like, what are you supposed to do whenever, you know, like, let's say, for example, like, I make my movie. I just spent 9 months, you know what I mean? I'm about to finish my short film, you know what I mean? I'm about to shoot and finish my short film. I do that. I go to Oklahoma, okay? Because I want to have some, like, creative rest, you know? What happens if all my friends are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't make, I just spent, like, 3 months working my ass off and being told that my ideas are and like all these things, you know what I mean? It's like
And
there's
then you
all
get
this
it when you
stress,
relax,
and then we get to the end and I can finally relax, but really I can't, because my friends are still and there's still negative energy around me. So what I really am a proponent for is, like, first of all, it doesn't matter how people treat you, always be a good friend, you know what I mean? Because, like, why would they be a good friend to you if you're not a good friend to them, you know what I mean?
What is a good friend in your eyes? Like, what qualifies or what dignifies a good friend?
Well, for me, personally, I'm a very emotionally demanding friend, you know what I mean? So, like, I need a lot emotionally, you know, and that's perfectly fine. Me and one of my really good friends talked about it pretty openly, and, like, some people aren't as emotionally demanding, you know what I mean? But me, personally, I am very emotionally demanding, so one of the big things that stands out for me is support. And I don't mean phony support where it's like, listen, I come up with a lot of bad ideas, and a lot of the times my friends tell me they're good, and sometimes I tell them the idea just so that I can hear them tell me it's bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I know my friends, and my real friends will tell me you're stupid. And, like, I've had multiple times where my friends have texted me like, okay, so I was watching How I Met Your Mother the other day, and Ted, like, got all his friends together and put them in a car, and he was like, let's drive. And then they cut the scene, and in the back seat, some guy goes, hey, how about someone who isn't having a manic episode starts driving? And I've had a lot of friends, like, tell me, like, hey, you're having a manic episode, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, that's really one of the biggest things that determines a good friend. The other thing, though, is, like, for me, friendship really means, like, valuing each other's time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to hang out with a friend of mine because they're fun. I don't want to hang out with my friend because they, you know, give me drugs, for example. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want to hang out with my friends because I enjoy talking to them and I enjoy their time. You know?
What happens now, I deal with this, I believe there's other creators who deal with this. I have friends who, from day one, they've been there for me, you know? There's times when we want to wring each other's neck. There's times when they want to wring my neck because I'm a creator, and this is what I have a dilemma, a little crossroads. I am a creator first. That's part of my identity. That's part of my brand. That's part of how I grown through all of this. I create content, but I do it to a point where a lot of people get annoyed with it. Mm-hmm. And what I come across worlds is that, hey, if you're going to be friends with me, just know that I am a creator. So I will post videos. If you were on your board and you fall down, I'm going to help you up, but I'm also going to record it, okay? I'm going to, of course, ask for permission to post. It depends on the scenario, but that's what I'm going to do. And a lot of times I deal with this thing with all my friends where they'll deal with it, but they won't.
Would rather not, basically.
That, but they won't, like, a lot of times they won't, like, say anything, but I don't know, it's like reading the ingredients or reading the directions or the things on the back of a thing when it's like, hey, if you try this, blah, 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 and I feel like a lot of times they get hurt, like, oh my God, why are you filming? Blah. Well, you've known me for over 2 to 3 years. You should know that this is what I do. This is my career.
Right.
Nowadays, I'm getting paid to record. Nowadays, I go to parties and I vlog and I get paid for that. So I do it as a career, and I feel like it's like that's one thing that I've had a lot of friends either go away or a lot of friends don't want to talk to me as much because
That's just a lack of understanding, really. So, like,
Yeah.
I had a similar situation. So, like, I mean, I could tell you a long list of things that my friends do that piss me off. You know what I mean? I could give you lists on lists on lists of things that I wish my friends could do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, especially me being a creative, one of the biggest ones, and I've bitched at my friends, especially my friends back in Oklahoma. I've told them, like no one reposts my stuff. You know, like, I'll post, like, music video just came out, and, like, I'll go all day, and the only person who's reposted it is the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, not that that's a big deal, you know what I mean? Because that's not a big deal. But it's like, a lot of people will make that a big deal. And I think that's the issue that you're running into, is that at the end of the day, bro, it's like, it's the same difference as if you were working at McDonald's versus if you were working here. If you were working at McDonald's and you told your friends, hey, sorry, I can't hang out because I need to go to work at McDonald's, or if you and your buddies were working at McDonald's and, like, he was making the fries and he fucked up, you would laugh. It's the same, you know what I mean? It's the same concept. Some people's brains just aren't geared for that, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying the good friends thing. It's like, my friends at the end of the day, it's like, they don't like a lot of the things that I do. And, you know, and it's like a lot of the time, some of the best conversations that I have with my friends, whenever I'm, like, seeking advice, some of the best conversations typically end with, Tariq, I know I can't stop you from doing what you want to do. So just do it. If you're wrong, I'll be here for you. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's to me, like, a huge, like, sign of a good friend. It's like, you can fuck up, and I know that it's not a definition of who you are as a person, and I'll still be there for you.
Yeah, because I have a friend. We don't talk as much because all my friends are getting married now. A lot of my friends are getting girlfriends, and ever since one of my friends got a girlfriend, shout out Hansman. You know who you are, Hansman. Before he got a girlfriend, I can go to his house and I'd be like, hey, want to make a video? He's like, hey, sure, Don, what is a video? But he's not a content creator. He likes to fix cars and all that stuff. But the reason why he helps me is because not only he knows my passion and he knows what I want to do, he knows my struggles. He knows where I came from. So it's like having a friend that, like, okay, this guy is not just a dude who, like, I don't smoke, so I'm make an example. He's not a dude who just smokes all day or just all day or just sleeps all day. He's someone that's motivated to do something. It might not be something.
He's not like getting 100 racks to blow it all on cocaine.
Yeah, like, it's not like he's not doing something that, like, I normally would do, or he's not doing something that, like, is in my field. But when I need something, when I need a friend or just someone to talk to, he's there for me. When I'm going through something with my family, I know I could talk to him, so why not do that for him? And that's the thing I deal with, because it's like, I don't have a car. I don't have racks upon racks upon racks. But if you need someone to talk to when it comes to my friends or any new friends, or even if I have a girlfriend in the future, like, I'm there. I'm someone who you can talk to.
That's something that I always, like, okay, so I've had many falling outs with some friends, and I almost always will leave them with the same message. I don't care what happens. I don't care, like, about anything that happens. If you need to talk to me, you can talk to me. You know, it's like, whatever happened, even if as pissed off as I am, if you need someone to talk to and you feel like you have no one to talk to, reach out to me. I always leave people with that message.
Yeah, because I even started doing that even more, even now with my team and stuff. I'll text you guys. I'll text my cameraman. I'll even text people I've worked with or done interviews with and just ask them, hey, are you guys okay? That's one thing that really stressed me out for at least a month. I was stressed out because I like not the gratification. I like when someone out of the blue who's close to me or starting to get close to me texts, hey, Don, are you okay?
Yeah, hope
hey,
you're doing
Don.
okay.
Hey, Don, how's your business going? Hey, Don, how's your team doing?
Right.
And I like that when it's, like, genuine and they're actually worried, because then it's like, wow, they do care, you know? Like, that's what motivates me, you know?
My situation right now with that kind of stuff is that a lot of my friends are in, like, really busy parts of their life. So, for example, one of my best friends just had a baby. One of my best friends just started college. Another one, like, he just went on a 1-year hiatus and he's starting college again. So he's, like, not used, you know what I mean? So it's, like, really difficult for me to, like, ask my friends to give me those kinds of like supportive messages every now and then. And like when I was younger, I really depended on those, you know what I mean, to get me through the day. It's like sometimes like if my friend would reach out to me like, hey, hope you have a good day, that would be enough to get me like in a better state to get me through the rest of the day, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like nowadays I'm old enough where it's like I understand they're busy, and also a lot of my friends are in different time zones. But I understand what you're saying with like when you're going through a tough time, sometimes all you want to hear is just like, hey man, how's like hope your business is doing good, like is there any way I can help you, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like my Oklahoma friends, I love them to death. They're shout not in this Oklahoma. World. Shout out Oklahoma. They're just not in the same culture as me. So sometimes it's like the help the help that they could provide, they're not aware that it's even like an option, you know what I mean? And I don't want to overextend them necessarily, you know what I mean? And I understand that my friends are busy. So like part of me, the older I'm getting, is realizing that like I spend 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock basically bouncing around LA on the phone, hopping around the phone, you know, getting yelled at by Peter, and then immediately, yeah, bro, I love the man. He's producing my short film. Shout out Peter Ferrante at the Crypto God on Instagram, the Crypto Godfather. I'm sorry, on Instagram. He's producing my short film, my first short film. We're shooting it on 60mm film, and we're planning on shooting it October 1st through 5th. Which, by the way, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to be a PA/grip, on-call PA grip/extra even. Anyway, so we're working on the film, and like he and I are like in the last stages, so it gets really tight, you know what I mean? And then at 5 o'clock, when it's 5 o'clock, bro, it's like I'm trying to get really good at this. 5 o'clock, I'm done. No more movie talk, you know what I mean? I have to force myself, you know what I mean? So like normally at 5 o'clock, I'll switch from my computer to like video games, you know what I mean? Just so I can at least get my mind off of work. And like last night, worst situation, I spent literally 3 hours up all night redoing the Patreon and redoing the website because I just couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? I was like, man, it's like I need to sleep so that I can wake up early so I can make it here on time. And I just couldn't, bro. And like that's part of all the things. It's like if you have good friends, bro, you won't feel the need to like do this kind of stuff. That's why I really think it's the good friends, not the good team. Because listen, I could do everything that I'm doing alone, and if my friends were supportive and like maybe every month one person did something for me, you know, one of my friends did something for me because they know that it's too much for me, then it would be the equivalent of having a team, you know what I mean?
I totally agree. Like one thing I want to talk about is, do you think there is let's see, how can I phrase this? Do you think there is a is it good to be a workaholic in this industry? Yes or no?
I think it's never good to be a workaholic. I genuinely, so one of my bigger issues in life is that I've seen a lot of families get destroyed by a very, very hardworking father. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's not an issue. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. But the flip side of it is when the father spends 24/7 at work, you know what I mean? The kids lose that connection, A. And B, if he's spending it all for them to go on vacations and stuff like that, there's very little value that's being returned. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I plan on like, you know, making lots of money in the future. I really want to make a lot of money in the future. And it's like, if I spend 24/7 at the office, you know what I mean, just working, and I'm making a lot of money, the only times my kids would see me is on those vacations. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's like not a healthy mental association. So I think being a workaholic ever is bad. I think the cure to it is a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. You know? So if you wake up in the morning early enough that you can have, like, for example, I wake up at 5 a.m. and depending on the day, I use that time as my quote-unquote meditation period. And it's, like, time for me to, like, do my religious requirements that I need to do, you know, as a Muslim. It's my time to, like, do whatever I want to do, like, make my bed, you know, shower myself, all that, like, simple stuff, and, like, brush my teeth and all that. And then once 8 o'clock hits, that's work. Once I start working, it's 8 to 11:30. 11:30 to 2:30 is my lunch because I like to cook lunch, and well, I'm trying to get in the habit of cooking lunch.
Question? Yeah. Do you how is it being a creative Muslim in this society?
I mean, if I'm being real, bro, it's like every time I hear questions like, how does it feel being a Muslim? It's just like, it feels like being a human. You know what I mean?
Well, okay.
I really don't know how to answer that. So that's all I'm trying to say.
So, like,
growing up, that was something that really was a challenge to me, like figuring out like what does it mean to be a Muslim in America, what does it mean to, but like realistically speaking, I've assimilated, quote unquote, enough where it's like,
what does that mean?
Like assimilating is like when you join the culture, you know what I mean? So it's like technically my first memories ever were in a different country. I was born in America, but my first memories were in a different country where my parents were born. So when I moved over here, I was culturally different, obviously. But by now, it's like I'm an American, you know what I mean? It's like I have an American passport, I can vote, I can do whatever I want, just like an American can, I was born here, I can be president if I want to whenever I'm 35, you know what I mean? So it's like, that kind of a question is really just like, it does not compute, you know what I mean? It just does not compute. Like, I don't even know how to begin answering that in any other way besides it feels perfectly normal.
So, meaning, what I'm trying to get at is like, because I know because as people who are Christians, I have a lot of friends who are Christians, there are certain things that they can't do in the industry that, like, I don't know if being a Muslim.
So, like, I can't, like, shoot. If we want to get about the real technical stuff, I can't shoot anything I can't film anything that God wouldn't approve of, quote unquote. You know what I mean? But it's like, in order for me to tell the stories that I want to tell, I have to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, this is something a little bit more personal, more theological, but the reason why I vibe with my religion, you know what I mean? The reason why I am Muslim is because of all the religions that I have studied. And I have studied a lot of religions, man, you know what I mean? Of all the religions that I've studied, it's like, Islam is the only one that, like, strongly expresses that you're not going to be perfect. It's like Islam literally says the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to know that you're falling short. Yeah. That's it. Because God's mercy is going to get you into heaven, not, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like, if I think about all the things that I can't do and all that, I won't necessarily have a happy life. Yeah. So I'm going to do the best that I can, and like, in terms of like what I can and can't do, listen, if in 5 years I make a movie and there's a sex scene and then you see 20, Islamic community articles coming out saying that I'm a heathen, you know what I mean, I'm not a real Muslim, then so be it, you know what I mean? But this is the story I want to tell, and I know my faith, I know my everything, and ultimately it feels just normal. That's the short answer, it feels just normal.
Okay, that's dope. So we're going to cut here real quick. We're going to keep rolling real quick. I want to do a little shout out to our sponsor for today. Sponsor for today is, we have two sponsors. We have two sponsors. Yep.
Awesome.
We have DONVIEW. Yep, DONVIEW. Yes, it's a credible creator / platform. Not only do they have a podcast, but DONVIEW also has apparel. So, quarantine is, I don't know if it's almost over, but you need to get good drip at an affordable price. And what brand has a good drip at an affordable price other than DONVIEW? DONVIEW has a great selection of outdoor and indoor wear. We are coming out with pants and hopefully shoes pretty soon. 15% off is for people in the View Club. So View Club members, 50% off.
That should be a private account now.
DONVIEW is a private. The View Club is a private account. So it's gonna be the link below on all my platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But it is a private account. So you would go on it, and then you would follow, and then I would accept you, and then you can see behind the scenes, and I have prizes and games. So So anyways, that's it's great apparel. We're coming out with women's wear as well. So I'm gonna talk to a few women and see what type of clothes they would want to wear during quarantine, after quarantine. So I get that because I'm not female. So that's what we're gonna do, and that's one of our sponsors. The next sponsors, take it away.
So this episode is also sponsored by DP Rick Video Productions. We have provided the camera gear and the editing, basically. So the video production of this is sponsored by me, DP Rick Video Productions, and if you want to get more information, you can check out our website, dpriq.com. That's dpriq.com.
So that's the end of today. Like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Instagram, any other platform. yeah, just stay tuned. And we're doing a lot. The other week we had Willie Mack. He's a comedian. He's a rising star. So we're gonna keep you up to date with what's going on with our lives and what's going on with day-to-day drama, and yeah, just having fun. Just I want to be able to show a bit about my life and what I'm thinking about, because I know people want to see the creator, like, not just the personas that they create. They want to know what's going on with that creator. So they want to know what are they doing. So I want to give you guys a little taste, just a little taste,
A little Salt Bay taste. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the podcast so far. It's been an amazing journey for both of us. We're learning a lot, and we really appreciate you guys' feedback. And the more feedback we can get, the better we can make this for you guys. So make sure you guys comment and like and give us your feedback so that we can make this better for you guys.
I've gotten a lot of feedback. I got one thing. They're like, great content. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. This is the end of the podcast for today. Take it easy. See you later, alligator.